Hello and welcome to the What the Nuck podcast, the podcast for Canucks fans. I'm your host, Ridey, alongside my good friend and co-host, Gunny. Well, Gunny, Canucks just finished their Eastern Road swing here, and we're going to start off because we're a little bit behind. We didn't end up getting the last podcast going, and we had some technical difficulties with it, so we're going to be recapping the Senators game first, then the Maple Leafs, and then finishing off with the game that they won tonight against the Montreal Canadiens. So Vancouver came into the Ottawa after Ottawa just beat Toronto Maple Leafs as well, and Vancouver came up and won 5-2. What do you think about this game? Did you think the boys had it, or were they getting a little lucky in this game?
Okay, I was hard at work, so I missed this game. But I did see the highlights, and from what people are saying, apparently we didn't deserve the win as much. So maybe you can get more into that.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I just want to see is Ottawa has their own problems and stuff like that, and it makes me feel good about the Canucks just because we are in that that Ottawa, Buffalo, Detroit Canucks. Like I feel like that was our gang about like the retooling, rebuilding, coming into playoffs and stuff like that.
Yep.
And just as a season, when I look at those teams and I'm like the fact that we're doing this well makes me really happy when I look at teams like Ottawa. The game itself, though, I heard it wasn't good. So you can fill me in on that.
Yeah, so basically the Vancouver Canucks got off to another hot, not another hot start, I'd say, but just this start in particular, they came out flying. Like Besser shoots the puck first 15 seconds in. Anton Forsberg looks like he saves it, but upon further review, his glove was in the back of the net. Besser gets his
Yeah, that was
11th, and
a
the boys
minute
are
and a
off and
half
running.
review I saw. Like they
Yeah.
just blew it, and they're like, "Oh wait, it was in."
Yeah,
Put the
yeah.
effort in.
But yeah, so Besser gets his 11th of the year. Nice shot, too. Forsberg's got to understand where he is in the net there a little bit more, I think. And then shortly
Goaltending tips
after,
for the guy.
yeah, goalie tip from a guy
Just
that can't skate.
hey, know where the fuck you are sometimes. There you go.
Yeah.
Come on.
Shortly after, too, nice little forecheck by the Pedersen line there. Pedersen gets a puck, or Kuzmenko halts it from getting cleared, gives it to Pedersen, who then gives it to Mikheyev. Mikheyev gets another nice goal. He's off to a great start since he's been back, too. Let's just give a shout out to Mikheyev here because he's given
Really
that
good start.
line. He's given that line an identity, and I still obviously the Miller line is still going way more than Pedersen's is, but Mikheyev's given that line a very solid showing in the first little bit since he's been back here.
Since he's been back, that line's actually looked noticeable. I remember before it wasn't like not on 5, PD and Kuzmenko, but Mikheyev has absolutely been that final piece in the top six. Everything he was promised to be. And he honestly he's been finishing a lot better too than I expected.
Yeah, no, he honestly has been. He had a breakaway in this game. Speaking of his finishing, and Forsberg denied him there. But yeah,
Can't get them
no,
all.
no, you can't get them all. It's just the way it's gonna go. Then pretty much the way this game went was after that, the Senators just kind of gave it to the Canucks. And I don't know, like you kind of had an eerie feeling as a Canucks fan in your stomach that, maybe this game can go the other way if Ottawa gets a goal. And sure enough, they did. They got two. They tied it up from a nice point shot from Zub. And yeah, no. So then Vancouver quickly after that, it was like dying down in the last couple of minutes in the second. Brady Kachuk. I don't know if that was in the highlight package you saw, but Brady Kachuk has a wide open net and he shovels it across the crease. Doesn't hit dismiss skate, goes right outside. Coming back the other way, Ian Cole gets a puck, feathers a beautiful pass to Phil Giuseppe, who dropped it to Miller. And obviously Forsberg was screened here because as soon as Miller got that puck, he shot it like immediately. And it was a bullet, man. Top left corner. Absolutely beautiful shot. Canucks are up
From the
3-2.
highlights, that's Miller's spot right there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially on the rush, man. He gets there, he gets a shot off, he's ripping it.
Yeah, no, and that was just a perfectly timed goal for a team that needed a goal because again, things were getting a little dicey here in Ottawa. Canucks hold off a couple of other chances, I believe, in that second, and then it went off to the third period. And again, not that Vancouver controlled this game, but they're just scoring at will right now. Like they're just an offensively talented team. Pedersen apologized to Tocchet for the game he had in this game, and he got 3 fucking
Was it
points.
that one?
Yeah, this is the game
That
he
was the game you
apologized for.
apologized for?
Yep.
What a hero.
Yeah. No, so who scored the 4-2 again? Oh yeah, Mikheyev scored 4-2 goal. He got 2 goals in this game. Um, Pedersen then this power play was clinical, by the way, and I'm talking like 2 seconds of clinicalness because uh, for the fifth goal, Miller wins the draw, goes to Hughes. Hughes passes it to Petey. Pedersen one timer in the back of the net. Forsberg didn't even have a
That's such
chance.
a us setting it up in Chel kinda goal.
Oh yeah,
It's like
yeah.
off the it's like, "Yeah, give it here. I got a bomb. I'm ready, alright?"
When we're going, that's a tie up right there to from Jesu to Pravi. 1T in the back of the net. So yeah, no, that was a another nice win for Vancouver here. Again, one that they definitely got challenged on, and maybe Ottawa could have had a couple more bounces and it could have went the other way, but Vancouver held strong in the third, and yeah, on to the next game here.
How was DeSmith in that game as a
Man,
whole?
DeSmith has just been incredible in every game. Like he kept us in this one again when Ottawa was pushing, and there was a couple of chances like that Brady Kachuk one where like obviously he doesn't have a chance to save it. He didn't know where it was, but he still looked great in this one tonight too against the Habs. Obviously, we'll get to that. Um, he's everything a backup that you could want him more. He has 90% of the possible points that he can get in all of his starts. He's 4-0-1.
Was
So
a Rangers game he was in net for?
Yes. Yeah,
That was
that
in
would
the
be our
OT
only
one, I
OT,
think.
right?
Either way, that was a cheap one. Still wanna get to that, but either way,
Yeah.
DeSmith has like, this Montreal game, we'll get to it, but we can go in order here.
Yes. Yeah, so on to Hockey Night in Canada against the Maple Leafs. This was a huge game, not even just for the Canucks, but for Canucks fans to really show these Eastern guys that go to bed early, they don't get to see these West Coast games. This is a game to show for Hughes and Pedersen and Miller and Demko to show the Leafs and everybody in on the Eastern side what the Canucks were all about. And the Canucks probably had to date up to this season so far, probably their worst game of the season. Or no, I
Yep,
guess the Flyers would be, but this one was pretty bad too.
I missed the Flyers one, but that was the worst 40 minutes. 2nd and 3rd were just awful.
Yeah, and just the way this one started, you could just kind of see it. Like Vancouver had three power plays in the first. They capitalized on one. They went 2 for 6 on the night. And if you're getting 6 power plays against this Leafs team, you should be burying it, especially being on the road. Like it's just an opportunity to get up. I'm not expecting them to score 6 for 6, but if you got, you know, a third one in there, it could have been like the Ottawa game where it's a timely goal and they could have came out with a
We
W.
needed to put it away after those. So, yeah, 2 of the 6, it was both in the 1st period. I think they were both on the, instigator.
Yeah. Yeah,
Either way, I'm not gonna go into too much of a rant. Those instigators were something the league's trying to do or whatever. 2 good fights too, honestly. So it was a chippy game right away. Joshua with that hit, and then, oh god, Ian Cole, that hit.
yeah.
Oh, that pinch up and just flatten him. Dear God.
That was such a nice I believe that was Nick Robertson. He just deleted him. Max Domi came in to rescue his boy. That really wasn't much of a fight. Speaking of these fights though, Giordano handed it to Joshua. Like honestly, for an old
Yeah.
man, good for him. Also, we got to shout out Joshua for yelling no at the refs to keep the fight going on the boards. He's done that twice now. It's so funny. I love when he does
That's
that.
so fair. He's like, "No, I'm not done yet." But no, he ate some shots. He got like 1 or 2 good ones, but Gio was I was shocked that he was still throwing like this.
I didn't know he could chuck him. That was crazy. No, two really good fights. The game was like competitive for like that part, and then yeah, you could just kind of see in the second there the Leafs were starting to heat up a little bit, and yeah, they ended up obviously beating us 5-2 in total. Nylander continues his 15-game point streak. Had a really nice goal to tie it up against the Vancouver Canucks. Outweighted Demko coming around the net, just centered the puck and it went in off of Myers' kneecap, I believe. Um,
Yep, that was one where he waited, tucked it in just in front of the net. And maybe he knew Myers was gonna trip and fall there, but it was a great wait out and do that. Nylander is, like we only see the stats 'cause I don't watch Toronto games, but like when I was watching this game, it's pretty wild how good he is because he's supposed to be apparently, he's part of that core four, but he's the least paid and everything. They have their own headache to deal with his contract, but he was dominating play when he was on there. Like he was looking good, especially on a power play with I don't know if did they stack their power play? I remember they
Uh,
didn't for a while.
yeah, I believe they did, yeah.
They were stacking this game, like, even the lines, they had, like, Matthews and Nylander out together, but either way, like, he was controlling play. I was actually shocked at that.
They
I didn't know
talked
he was that good.
they talked about it on the breakdown actually in the intermission. I believe Elliot and all those guys were just talking about it and how they're starting to give it to him like he's the guy now on the power play. And not
Oh,
that
yeah.
he is, because it's obviously Matthews and Marner, and those are the guys you think of first, Tavares. But yeah, no, they're starting to give it to him, and he's just for the money he's getting paid right now. What is he, 6.5 or something?
I think it's around 7 mil.
Around 7 mil? Yeah, no, he's a bargain right now for how well he's playing. Like he's gonna get paid. They're gonna be backing up that Brinks truck to him, man. Because like,
No, they're not gonna be. They can't afford that.
oh yeah, if they
He's
want
going
to keep
somewhere
him, they
else.
have to. But yeah, I don't know, man. He's playing really good. Like he's Biz and Spit and Chicklets guys are talking about like the comparison between him and Pedersen for the contracts. Definitely, Nylander should be getting like I think just the way he's playing, 10 mil or so,
Yeah.
maybe 9.5.
PD's talking about
Uh,
getting into, like, McKinnon territory.
PD,
PD's
yeah,
talking, like, 11, 12 mil at this point.
PD's 11, yeah, for sure. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a fair comparison if you're a Toronto fan. On Vancouver side,
Oh
we
yeah,
don't like that comparison at all.
no,
It's
no,
disrespectful. Either way, Toronto, the game itself, like, yeah, we had those 2 power plays, and, like, we went 2 for 6, which, like, it's not anything to complain about, but when you're watching the game, it was something to complain about. After
yeah,
that first intermission, they absolutely locked us out of offense. That
hmm
was the thing. It wasn't like we were getting bad bounces or goalie, like, it's Samsonov. We're not gonna get goalied by Samsonov, but he like Marner with that, he started stopping the drop pass we do to get in on the rush.
yeah,
And then even on 5-on-5, we had no sustained pressure in those last 2 periods. That
no,
was what really made the game really, like, shit, was the fact that we really looked like we were getting outclassed in those last 2 periods by them, and we were.
yeah, we 100% were. Like again, the Canucks deserve to lose this one. Again, there was a couple of nice moments, like we said. Miller gets another goal. Pius Suter with his fourth of the year as well. So like that's always good to see his offense continue. I thought too, yeah, just again because this is a Canucks pod and we got to talk about what happened within this game. Since Joshua's been scratched here and there, this is one of Joshua's better games. I really like the way he played in this game. You know, hit hits David Camp, gets in the fight. He was just a little bit more noticeable than previous games, and yeah, I just liked his energy level tonight.
After that one game he got scratched, I think it was not this, it was like a Thursday. I remember like 2 weeks ago, maybe he got scratched for 1 game, that was it. He
Yep.
came out like a cat. I think he had 4 hits the next, game in the first period right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was out for blood, like, he's been great these past 2 weeks. Because yeah, it is a question mark on if he would stay in the lineup or not just because he wasn't having a great start to the year. But I think it's him, Suter, and Garland on the line together, and
Yeah.
that's been a great line for us.
No, I know it truly has. Um, yeah, no, like outside of this game, after that, again, after the two Canuck goals there, it was the Nylander goal that we talked about. Gregor, Robertson getting a nice one off of a turnover from PD, I believe. And then David Camp gets the last goal. So 5-2 total for the Leafs. Um, yeah, it just wasn't a banner night for anybody. Like you were saying, the Leafs just clamped us down. Like we could not find any offense in the zone. There was no sustained pressure. And yeah, honestly, I know you mentioned it already, but Marner's an amazing penalty killer. Like I already kind of knew that, but
Yep.
seeing him like kind of single-handedly just stopping our break-in and stuff, it was yeah, he's good for sure. So
I
caps
think
off
that's
to
where
him.
people really start, like, I think it was started with Bergeron, maybe it started earlier, I'm not a historian, with, like, good players playing on your PK instead of those 3rd, 4th liners,
Yeah,
was the thought process that they understand how a power play works and they can adapt to it. Like, I think you gotta be a pretty smart player to how Marner started doing it. Like, he was literally behind Hughes,
yeah,
like, he on purpose, going down to stop those, drop passes, and it really threw us off because
yeah,
we were completely floundering after that, even getting it into the zone. So yeah, much as I don't like the Leafs, gotta shout out Martin for that.
yeah. Well, and up until like we played the Leafs, honestly, like every power play we've had, relatively easy entries. Like Canucks have had really good like success rates as far as just like getting it into the zone, and like not even just a drop pass, but just a couple of those side passes to Miller on the wall or Besser on the wall. Like they're getting in. And this game, it seemed like it was really difficult for them to set up and get ready. And that's the thing that sucks too, because you're playing Demko, which again you always have a chance to win. The goals that went in on Demko, there wasn't really much you could do on a lot of them.
No, nothing on him.
But yeah, no, it was just an unfortunate game because of the bright lights in Toronto and trying to showcase our players because we've been. I don't know if you've been on Canucks Twitter, but people have been
Oh yeah.
going to town on Dom right now on the Athletic, and he at the end of the night, I love it. Like he handpicks this game because I mean it's the game
Oh
that
yeah.
he needs to see, and he's like, oh, Canucks aren't too hot, basically, and yeah, Canucks
Yeah,
Twitter
he
is
joked about
actually
how he wasn't getting enough ats between 4 and 7 just because he has been getting absolutely all year from Canucks fans.
well, rightfully so too. Like, let me just talk about this for a sec, okay? Because if
Spit your shit.
I get it, if your model says like this, and you're gonna have even if Edmonton's having an egregious like start to the year, yeah, you're still gonna have their probability higher. I get that. Like, this is like not. If you were to tell me right now that the Canucks record is this right now, and like they were third in the league, I would have laughed. Like it just it w- it it's
Not
still
something
too
would have
good to be
believed.
true, right?
Honestly, you would have believed it. You're a big fan.
Of
You're a
course I'm
big
a
believer.
of course I'm a big fan, but no, 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 seriously, I would have been a little more realistic than that, 100%,
Fair enough.
okay? And the Canucks are smashing opponents, like, I mean, outside of this, like, Leafs game and the Philly game, like, they've been in every other hockey game, and I don't know, just for him to dunk on us for, like, one game handpicked by his favorite team, it just pisses me
His
off because
favorite
it's
team.
like, man, the Canucks got back in the W column again tonight, and they're gonna be doing that again. They play 10 games in the next 18 nights. We're gonna have a really busy schedule, coming up here. Our next game's actually against, the Islanders and Bo Horvat, so that'll be interesting,
Oh, he's
but
coming home.
he's coming home, yeah. But, yeah, I don't understand him, man, like, he's still shitting
He
on us,
I
and
think he was just riling up us up on Twitter. I think
is
that's
yeah,
100 thing because in his athletic ranking, he put us 5th
yeah.
out of 32. So he was very like
Well,
my biggest problem with the Hughes thing was literally the fact that he's a huge stats guy and he went off of two random scouts, one of which said Quinn Hughes doesn't play defense, and another one that said like he doesn't even watch enough or something. That was my biggest like you have this huge model, and this model has been absolutely glowing for Hughes this year, but
yeah,
he didn't believe in his own model. He drops him below fucking Hampus Lindholm.
yeah.
Like, oh, JT Miller was also below Matty Beniers in that.
I know, like
I don't It was yeah, either way, there I honestly saw a Bleacher Report Twitter link to theirs and like I just knew it was a Canucks thing because like there was hundreds of comments from Canucks fans because apparently they didn't even have Quinn Hughes in the top 25 players of this season. So I think that I honestly think some of these people know this just disrespect the Canucks and the fans will give you engagement. So
Oh, for sure. Our fan base is absolutely insane, including myself.
oh,
Um,
I love it.
Speaking of Hughes not being in the top 25, though, if you look at the leaderboard right now for leading scorers, Gunny, who do you see?
Oh, you see Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, JT Miller, some scrub I don't remember, probably Kucherov, and I think Roenick's up there as well.
Yeah,
Or is
no,
it
it's Kucherov then Panarin. Kucherov would have the tiebreaker because he's played less games, but yeah, Pedersen is leading the league outright with 25 points. Hughes and JT Miller at 23, tied with Kucherov.
Wowza?
This
Like
is it's incredible at this point.
you can't write that. No one would have believed it.
Nope. No, it's this
This is
team,
Pettersson
man.
apologizing for his play. And honestly, we've been talking about like maybe he's been playing through something as well, which is just that much scarier to see.
Yeah. I mean, similar, like, obviously not similar. They probably have like different injuries and all that, but McDavid's playing through something as well. Pedersen's playing through something. Obviously a nagging injury where they're both able to play, but
Hey,
yeah, no.
McDavid can't play. I don't know what he's doing out there. He ain't playing.
Yeah.
He's maybe
We'll
doing cardio. Maybe he's getting his laps in. I don't know. He's
we'll
not playing.
we'll talk about that in a bit here, but yeah, no,
That scrub.
hopefully Pedersen's injury isn't too bad. I mean, again, they get 2 days off here. Also happy birthday Pedersen by the time you listen to this.
Woo!
Belated birthday. I don't know if you got to see the video too. The boys are singing happy birthday on the plane. Kuzi
I
got
did
on the
not see that.
intercom and he was singing it. It was good. No, the vibes
Culture
are
guy right there.
100%. The vibes are immaculate with this team right now. They keep rolling even though they get the loss in Toronto. They go over to Montreal and they take a win from the Habs 5-2.
Every
Uh
game was 5-2, wasn't it?
well, yeah, last 3 games in a row have been 5-2. Hopefully you all hit the over on those.
Spooky.
That is kind of spooky actually. Yeah, what were your thoughts on this game in Montreal? Did you get to enjoy it here compared to the Leafs game?
That's the one I miss Pravi because I don't hate Montreal that much, but Pravi hates Montreal, so he would have had some stuff to say here. But uh Casey DeSmith, Jake Allen,
Yep.
honestly, pretty good goaltending battle, surprisingly. I know
Yeah.
Jake Allen's trying to I don't know if he's part of that Edmonton rumor mill, but he's very good on a bad team, of course. But dear God, he was surprisingly good. I did not know that he was that good, honestly. But the Canucks were obviously better. It's Montreal. They're not a good team. They don't really have much in the way of offense and stuff like that. The Canucks, on the other hand, have a lot of offense. Connor Garland, guy was noticeable out there.
Best game of the
Like
year for him.
yes, like, you always see him like doing his stuff, but this game, like it was working for him. He was cutting through, getting to the front of the net, winning puck battles.
Yeah,
The guy's a stud. What he's
that
on.
line in general tonight, Pius Suter, Connor Garland, Dakota Joshua, they were hounds on the puck tonight. Joshua's goal in particular, Garland is just like skating laps around the Canadians, man. Like just trying to make chances happen left, right, and center. Great battles in front of the net, and then it finally squirts free to Joshua, who bangs in his second of the year. Just a great ship by that line in general. Like this is one thing about this Canucks team that was a little bit different compared to Bruce's and teams past here. Their forecheck is just so aggressive, man. And when it's on, like that PDG and Besser line is just incredible to watch just in itself because when they do dump it in, they're definitely going to make that team turn it over to them. Like this line
Yep.
tonight did it. And then again, since McKay's been back in the lineup with Pedersen and Kuzmenko, they've started to do it. Like it's I am such a big fan of the way Talkett's getting these guys to go into the walls and fight for the puck because it's just working right
This
now.
I think that's one of those things where like every team ends up copying the Stanley Cup champions, just what we do. And I remember this is way back. I don't think you'll remember this when we were talking about I think was it Vegas versus Edmonton or
Mhm.
Vegas and Dallas maybe. I can't remember.
Okay.
The discussion was just how scary that Vegas is like below the goal line on the when they're in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
They are just hounding. They're gonna get that puck.
Mhm.
Like everybody just goes for the puck. It's actually scary to see. They did honestly do the same to us in the bubble as well. So they've been playing like that for a while.
Yeah.
Now teams, well, at least we're trying to emulate it, and it's absolutely paying dividends. Like the amount of pressure we put on the forecheck, it's noticeable just to watch. Like it's
Yeah.
hard to get out of. And I don't know why we haven't been doing it sooner, but thank God Talker put this in because it looks ferocious.
Yeah. No, it's incredible to watch. It makes the game just like fun and exciting too. And speaking of a fun and exciting game, like this game just in general was because again, I don't really watch a lot of Habs games, but man, are the Montreal Canadiens fast. I was actually a little worried in this game just because they are fucking speedy, man.
They had Tanner Pearson jetting down there,
Yeah.
getting a post that they tried to scam into a goal with a goal horn.
Oh,
So that
that
was
was
surprising to
hilarious,
see.
man. Ray Ferraro's like the guy. He's like the horn guy's on probation. That clearly went off the post. Made me laugh.
What they also had that goal turned back
Yep,
for the offside.
offside on Cole Caulfield's part. Um, and then yeah, Mikheyev gets a goal to make it 2-0 Vancouver. His sixth of the year already since he's been back, which is pretty crazy. This one,
Finish,
Allen
finish, finish.
probably wishes he should have back, but still, he got a nice shot off. So props to Mikheyev there. Um, also, yeah, I we didn't mention this, but this is former Montreal Canadiens Casey DeSmith in net for us that got the dub tonight. So probably felt pretty good.
Did he put on those pads he wasted?
Yeah, he's like, "You guys made me spend money for this?"
He
Uh,
got pads made and didn't play a game for them. That's actually so fucking rock star.
yeah, and then when he was playing with us in the preseason, he's, like, wearing in, like, the Pittsburgh ones, like, the guy's life, man, just a mess. So many pads. Hey, I need some pads, Casey DeSmith, if you're listening, so
You
send them
want those
over
old
my
Hab
way.
ones?
I'll take the Penguins ones if he wants. Those are
They'll
prob
definitely be too big for you, but we'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we already talked about it there, but Joshua scores his second of the year. Again, another great ship by that Garland and Suter line, which made it 3-0 Vancouver. And I just have a little note here. We already talked about it again, but yeah, Garland was just buzzing all night tonight. Like he was playing like he usually does, but just getting rewarded for it. And this is kind of what um fans were kind of not that they were arguing on Twitter about, but just like wondering who should be coming in and out of the lineup because also Teddy Bluger came back in for tonight.
Yep.
And there's been arguments about, oh, like we should be trading Garland or like letting Garland sit or letting Beauvillier sit. And comparing and contrasting Beauvillier and Garland is such a night and day thing for me. Um, I we fucking buzzed our heads for Anthony Beauvillier. And the Frenchman, like he had a couple of nice opportunities tonight. And again, he skates well, but there's just something about Beauvillier's game that is just infuriating to watch where I'm like, he's doing stuff, but he's not doing things either. And this is where
Yes.
Garland gets in there. He gets in the like Garland blocked a shot tonight. I don't know if you saw this one where like I think it was Jack Eye. He was like trying to like deke him out, and Garland had his hand out. He blocks a shot with his open palm. Probably not good, but like you know what I mean. Like Garland just gets in the dirty areas. At least he's still trying to battle, and it just seems like Beauvillier just gets put to the outside a lot of the times.
One thing I always say is Bolivia, he looks like he's in the right spot for like he'd be great if he's on like PD Kuzmenko's line and he's on that side. And looks like he's always in the right spot, but he doesn't do anything with it. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't have that garbage man in him to get it done. Like he can, like his shot's not all there. Like he doesn't deke well. He doesn't like pass well, but like he's always in the right spot. That's his ability. And
Well,
maybe that's why people have always talked about him like needing a new team or something. But he can go find a new team at this point. Like I don't think he fits on our team at all.
I just think it's a stylistic issue at this point. Like again, it's not like shade to him. Like I do think he could play. Like he does again, he skates well. He had a couple of nice keeps today. He still had some chances. It's just the battle compared to those two players. Like I'd way rather keep Garland
No, yeah,
on this team. And I know Garland initially asked for a trade, but I doubt that he wants to get traded on a winning club right now. At least I hope. Because obviously if Garland actually still wants out of here, that's the guy you get rid of. 100%. You don't want someone that doesn't want to be here. But
very fair.
at the same time, yeah, like this is my gripe with guys like Beauvillier staying in the lineup though right now is because you got a guy like Hoglander. When Hoglander has like one like bad game, if he makes one bad mistake, he's the first guy that's out every fucking time. And I just feel like Hoglander's had a better season overall for the amount of limited minutes he's had compared to Beauvillier.
It's fair. It's just a hockey thing. He's a
Yeah.
rookie. He gets sent down. Like they're just a little bit more disrespectful towards rookies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You kind of get it, but it's also just professional. They don't want to put Beauvillier, the guy they traded for, on in the press box and stuff like that. It's the same thing with not throwing Louis up there and stuff like that. It
For
just looks
sure.
bad around the league to
Yeah.
other players. I guess would be that's the only logic I can think of because he should be out of the lineup. What? Wait, wait, was he in the lineup today?
Who,
I
Beauvillier?
hardly noticed him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was no, that's what I mean. Like tonight
I,
I still noticed him. Like he still has like good shifts and like he skates really well
wait, who'd
and
they
like
get rid of for Bluger then? Was it Hawk?
uh
I guess it had to have been because I didn't see Hog
yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah. So Hoglander was out tonight and then also Friedman was out for Juleson tonight.
Yeah, that was a surprising one. I don't know if that's because of the rumors with Friedman.
Yeah, I think part of it could be rumors. It also could just be giving a guy a break too. Like cuz we got a lot of games to play, like Ray Ferraro mentioned, 10 games in 18 nights. And just stretching your bench for this amount of time is fine, especially with depth guys like that. Like we were able to make it work, right? So
Well, there's a Susie injury, so they
there
have to figure that out.
yeah, yeah. Susie actually that shift was insane. Susie and Myers both down and out. And we thought we were going to lose two D men there for a sec, but Myers ended up coming back, and Susie ended up having to leave, unfortunately. So hopefully he has a speedy recovery. But yeah, no, someone's got to step up now, and that's most likely going to be Friedman.
Well, yeah, well, Friedman's been in the lineup. He should have stayed in. It'll be Juleson though, I assume.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry for
I
when.
don't know the
Yeah,
handedness because I know Talk has been real sharp on that, keeping them on the same hand and stuff like that. Or maybe there'll be a trade. Who knows? Apparently, we've been very aggressive on the trade front.
yeah.
A lot of teams I think are okay. Is this a bad stretch, or are we settling into who we really are? Like Calgary, are they trying to figure out are they just this bad?
Hmm.
I can answer that. They are. So they could just be fire sailing it now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if they'll be willing to trade with us or not, or maybe they'll do right by their players. Maybe Tanev wants to, come back.
Tanev Zadorov is a guy that's heavily rumored right now too, and I mean, regarding this injury, depending on how long it is, that might be sped up a little bit more too to get him here.
Could be. I know Nashville is in the conversation for Garland, and Nashville is a defenseman factory, so
Hmm.
they should be able to send us something. I think
Yep.
Columbus too. I think they have the Columbus has a lot of
Yeah, with Andrew
defensemen.
Andrew Peak, and yeah, there's a lot of names out there right now. It seems like Zadorov is one because our AGM Dan Milstein, the agent, is his agent, so
No,
might just be confirmed at this point.
pretty much he's here.
Yeah. To finish off this game, though, I just have a few more notes here. The third period, that 5-on-3, that was comical to watch because back-to-back shifts, Suzuki and then Gallagher both lose a skate blade, and I've actually never seen someone like lose their skate blade and have to go back to the bench. The Gallagher one was comical, man, because
Yeah,
Pearson's trying to push him there, and he looks just like Bambi trying to get back. Suzuki was at least on the wall, so he was like he didn't have to go too far to the bench. But
I've seen it where
Gallagher
they've
was on
been
the
able
other
to
side.
like get a push and then glide on one skate a decent amount of the time. Gallagher looked like actually like a shot deer.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was pretty funny. But yeah, Canucks penalty kill. They kill off the first penalty, and then Hab scored pretty much right after that. And I can't remember. Do you know who scored
Does
that
that
one?
even count as a? I didn't think it counted as a power play. It was like as soon as he got killed.
No, we killed off the first part of the 5-on-3, like the first penalty, and then the second one was still going, and that's the one that
Oh,
got
okay, okay.
yeah. So it
Was that
it,
the
it was.
Gallagher or was that the Matheson one?
I will find out here in a second. That was yeah. That was
Either
sorry. That
way.
was a Mike Matheson one. The power play goal assisted by Monahan and Anderson.
No, okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah, if you hit the over in this game, you're probably super happy because it didn't look like it was going to get hit there for a while. But then at for an empty net goal there, Besser, he gets his 12th. Guy is a baker's dozen in goals, Gunny. And it's not
That's not a
December.
baker's dozen.
Huh? What the
Baker's
hell's a
dozen is
baker's dozen?
13.
Is it
Baker dozen's
13?
a 13. Fun fact is because they used to throw an extra bread in, I think I'm not gonna even get into what
Am
I
I am
think the
I
reason
learning
for like
today?
yeah, you're learning. A baker's dozen is 13. Okay? A dozen is 12.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
baker's
dozen's
dozen is
12.
13.
Well,
They
now
would throw in an extra one.
hey, we got to scrap this pod. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Oh, yeah, let's restart.
Oh god. Okay, well anyways, Brock Besser's up to a dozen on the year, okay? That's what
It
we'll
is.
say. Sounds a little bit better. Yeah, and then Jack Guy hit the back bar and yeah, so that was a nice goal. But then Vancouver got another empty net attempt and Besser had the puck. Saw his boys coming in, gave it to Miller, Miller over to Di Giuseppe, and then Ferraro said it best too. Di Giuseppe scored on this empty net. He just said this is a team that's in sync right now. You see that Besser knows guys are coming in, passes it off, and then it was just an easy way to get to an empty net goal.
I can't remember who slapped it off the boards there, one of our D-men, just to get it up to was it Besser? Or I think it was up to Miller, Miller to Besser, Besser to Miller back, and then to the PDG. But
Mhm.
whoever whatever defenseman that was, and it could have been any of our defensemen because they've all been very good at that, getting it that first pass out. So it
Yeah,
was like a nice little bank shot, which I liked. It's
yeah, no.
Montreal, but still.
Well, you know what though? You can't. I think you're throwing a little bit too much shade on Montreal. Montreal's has a pretty good record this year, man. They're
I gotta
well,
do it for Brabby. He's not here.
yeah. I the only reason probably doesn't like Montreal is because his sister's a Habs fan, right? But
Yeah, he also hates
currently,
Matheson and Kotkaniemi.
of course, they Matheson. Also, Pedersen had a nice little deke on Matheson tonight. I don't know if you saw that on the wall. He was right by the
We're on the
blue
wall?
line. Yeah, he was right by the blue line trying to keep it in. Matheson was right there, and he did a nice little toe drag. Also did a really nice toe drag on the power play to set up
Yeah, that's
Besser
what
in
I
close.
remember.
That one was
That
very
was
nice.
Kuzmenko in close, wasn't it?
No, it was Besser.
Oh yeah, I forgot Besser plays net front.
Yes,
And plays
sir.
it well.
But yeah,
Are
no.
we gonna shit talk the Oilers?
Oh, we sure are, buddy. Yeah. So
Nice.
Canucks finish this road trip, winning 2 of the possible 3. They get a 4 out of the 6 points, and they're still rolling, man. Like they had the bad game the other night against the Leafs. Talk it. Actually, in the post game before the Habs game, people were asking, "Oh, will Bluger be in?" He jumped on it right away. He's like, "Oh yeah, Bluger will definitely be in," just kind of alluding to how bad that
Bluger
game was.
coughed one up
Yeah,
this game at the beginning of the Montreal. I feel like I should chat about that.
yeah.
I'm
No,
a Blugstorian, alright? A Blug fanatic, but that
shut
was a cough up and a half, man.
shut up.
Prime time just tosses it so gently, and the sprint on this man to get back, like, I swear he went for, like, a glove save when there was no need for it as well, and then
A
he just
blue
back checked to
Saurian.
get it. Dude,
Jesus. Give
the
your head a
Blug
shake.
and me, right?
Yeah, I actually talking about Bluger's game here. He it was his first game back. He's gonna have a couple of those. I actually thought he looked all right offensively tonight. Like not that he was creating a lot. He just seemed to be in the right place at the right time and had some chances at least. So I didn't mind his game overall, especially because we won. Um, yeah, that's also another factor, obviously.
Oh, yeah, if
But
he coughs that up and we go down 1-0, we're blaming him.
yeah,
Welcome to
he's
the Vancouver
overpaid.
Canucks, right? I wouldn't say that, I would defend him to the death, alright?
Now, to get to the other part of the program where, yeah, we shit talk the Oilers because, again, we had technical difficulties in the last podcast that Prabby and myself tried to do. Again, apologies for that. We're going to quickly recap their situation along with that 6-2 win that the Canucks had against them because there was a lot of drama in that game. So, to recap, Canucks won that one 6-2. The Oilers then follow it up with the loss from it was a toilet bowl matchup, but the San Jose Sharks beat them. Then
Hell yeah.
the Oilers follow it up with a win 4-1 against Seattle. Uh, what's his name there? Jay Woodcroft lays out a couple of chirps toward Mark Spector saying he doesn't read his stuff. And then the next day, Jay Woodcroft is officially fired from the Oilers organization. In comes Knobloch, who I've never heard of, but apparently it's the OHL's McDavid's like former OHL coach, and Paul Coffey as an assistant coach. So what are your thoughts on this Oilers team? Is there what's wrong with them? Do you think McDavid's like completely injured and it's like
Yeah.
it's not
Oh,
sustainable?
absolutely.
Should they be sitting him?
He's
Give it,
having a bad time, and he's injured as well. Like,
yeah,
like, how injured is he? He looks
yeah.
terrible. Like, he was I didn't notice him in the, Canucks game other than when he got in a little tussle with Miller and realized he didn't want that smoke. Like, he was fully pissed off as well. I think he knows it as well. He's, having a terrible time.
Hmm.
No, questions why. But he does not look like himself, the Connor McDavid of old. And he's just, I don't know, like, I just don't get why they wouldn't shut him down. It's not like he's doing anything.
No, and you know the thing, I think they would shut him down if their record was like 9-3-1 or something or whatever it is now. But because it's reversed that, um, they need to get out of this hole because it is cup or bust for them. McDavid needs to play.
He's
That
not helping them.
I know he's not, but like
Unless it's some
that's
kind of injury that he can just play through.
yeah,
Like I love the player for the game and stuff like that. But like if it's like a Mikheyev injury where like he just can just play through it or just get surgery, like why risk this guy?
yeah.
Maybe
He's
because we know that he's not going to stay there. They're hiring everyone under the sun that's even met him to just keep him here,
yeah,
and like, and it hasn't worked.
no, and even too
Connor
like
Brown,
that.
garbage.
That was just a terrible signing. Like to think that they, get not all Connors are good at hockey. Okay, that's just a fact.
Connor
They can't all be
Brown.
good. But like comparing this Canucks game to like the last two, I didn't get to see the Seattle game, so obviously they came out hot and they ended up winning that game. But comparing this Canucks game to the San Jose game, they came out hard against us. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. They outshot us in the first 21-8. Canucks ended up tying the game up on the 3rd shot from Hughes. Desharnais tipped it in.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Um, yeah, and then Suter got his 3rd goal and his 3rd game in this game. Campbell should have had that one. Or no, that was Skinner, sorry. Skinner should
Not
have had that one.
Campbell.
Yeah,
Campbell looks like he's getting blamed because he got sent down after Stu's problem.
yeah. But, yeah, sorry, Skinner should have had that one. That was tough. Uh, Besser gets his 9th on the power play. This game just had everything though, but like just to quickly recap like this problem that the Oilers have, like I don't think I've ever seen McDavid's wires cross that bad when JT Miller hits him in front of the net. He tried to do a nice little toe drag. Miller was right there, dropped his shoulder, hit him right in the chest. And I've never seen those crazy eyes from McDavid. That was pretty fun to
Yeah.
watch.
He's definitely pissed off, but that
Yeah.
was shocking to see. Like, he was like, he got hit. Like, you went to the front of the net and you got hit, but
Yeah.
he was pissed. He got into it. Hyman came in. Like, they were chippy. They were mad that whole game,
Oh yeah.
which
Well,
is
after
why,
that
like,
too.
oh, yeah, and then what were they gonna do? They were gonna try to skill it up? No, they started taking runs at any player. It was like McDavid taking a run at, like, was it PDG?
No, no, it was a Suter he hit there that got the penalty for McDavid.
Yeah, well, I think he also took a run at someone else, but they
Mhm.
were absolute like, McDavid's taking a run.
Yeah.
Like, to anyone else on their team, go ahead. Like, Draisaitl even does it as well. McDavid's starting to take runs, like, it's embarrassing to watch, and
Well,
that's why Tocchet put out the top power play against him, just to
oh,
teach him a lesson on what a
that
top
yeah,
power play
that
looks like.
that was Nurse that took that last penalty on Hoglander, and it was hilarious because you see the puck like Hoglander like dumps it in or whatever, right? And I know Nurse was coming in to hit him, and I just like I think I said to you guys, I was like, "Yeah, that's gonna be a penalty," and lo and behold, it was. And yeah, I love that Taka put out the first line for the power play there because we again, Biz even said it. We look like the Harlem Globetrotters out there, giving it to Besser for an empty net goal, basically. We embarrass the Oilers. We've embarrassed them actually every fucking game.
We
Like,
broke 'em.
yeah, we actually are the ones that broke them. So,
They broke
um,
us last year, so they deserve this.
yeah, yeah. No, there's some weird voodoo with us or something. I don't know, an eye for an eye at this point. But yeah, no, I don't know what has gotten into like McDavid and stuff, and maybe it'll like turn around now with their coaching change because there's usually always a coaching bump. But the one thing that this team does that's just so immature compared to like other cup winning teams or whatever is just when they are losing, they just try to start injuring other players on the other team. And I don't know why. I find it so childish, like compared to other teams. Like
And
I just don't
shots.
see no other team does that.
In a regular season game too. Like, I understand we're completely owning them and stuff like that, but why are you taking runs at any player you can?
Yeah. No, it's I don't know. Frankly,
Yeah, they
it's
it wasn't even
embarrassing.
that far out of a game when, like, it was, when McDavid had his little spaz attack in front of the net, and it was him, Hyman, and Draisaitl, with Draisaitl getting a 10-minute misconduct.
Mhm.
Like, you're just calling the game in the second period there.
Well, that was the 3rd, I'm pretty sure.
Was that the 3rd?
Yeah.
Alright, well, you're
No, the
calling the
game
game whenever.
the game was definitely gone by the time like his wire snapped and all or crossed or whatever. But it's just yeah, the team's kind of just in disarray. I mean, maybe this coaching change will help, but I have a tough time. This is like I saw someone tweet this and I think it's hilarious. He said that the Oilers are in the Willie Desharnais era right now because they're hiring
Wow.
some OHL coach, hoping it's gonna go good for them. Which I mean, hey, maybe it does. Maybe he hits the right buttons and stuff. But
He is
I
an
don't know.
AHL coach. He's
He
coaching
was
the Rangers affiliate, I think.
oh, is he from the oh, sorry, my bad. But
He
he
coached McDavid's OAHL team, though.
I see. That makes more sense. But even still, like I yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Because this is the thing too. I know we're a Canuck podcast here, but Jay Woodcroft wasn't the problem. You're telling me Jay
No.
Woodcroft's a problem? He can't stack the pads and go out there and make big saves. That's on Skinner and Campbell. And now Skinner and Picard.
Apparently, the Oilers. Oh, yeah, Campbell got sent down. We should mention that.
Yeah. Yeah, he
After
got
Stu's terrible performance, they sent down Soup. Maybe they got confused with it. The Oilers subreddit, because I love going there to read about how they're feeling right now,
yeah.
absolutely hate their goaltending coach. I think it's Dustin Schwartz or something. And the fact I even know they're a goaltending coach means it's bad. But apparently he's been there for like 4 or 5 coaches.
Yeah.
Like, he's been there, first off, and they've had a lot of coaches in these past. This is Nuge's 10th coach in 13 years.
This is,
Like, that's a lot.
since Kenny Holland's been there, this is the 4th coach in the last 5
Yeah.
years. Like, it's
I you
embarrassing.
always kinda hear that ballpark, like, yeah, they get 1 coach, like, each GM, or, like, they get 2 coaches max. Like, who's hiring 4 coaches here?
Yeah, no. And I thought yeah, I don't know, like, sometimes you just lose a room and it's just, like, the way it goes sometimes, and, I mean, with the record they have, yeah, if they went down another rabbit hole in the next 10 games, yeah, you're not gonna be able to climb out of that, and again, if the Oilers miss the playoffs this year, like, that's a fireable offense for Ken Holland too as well at that point.
Oh, absolutely. And he's gonna do something crazy before he leaves.
Yeah, and this was his last bullet in the chamber, firing Jay Woodcroft, in my opinion. Like, if they
No,
miss
he's got
playoffs,
that
that's
first he's gonna make a mess with. Don't even worry about it.
well,
He's got
yeah.
first, Broberg, and that guy whose name I can't pronounce, like McXavier or something.
Mm, what a deal for whoever team pounces on that to give him a goalie or something.
Don't worry, someone's dangling like Saros or something in front of them.
Yeah,
Issue is no one wants to go to Edmonton, by the way. Varlamov doesn't want to, Gibson didn't want to. So he's not only getting the price there, but also like having someone that actually wants to go to Edmonton.
yeah. Well, okay, we'll stop talking about Edmonton here because I hate this team, and I'm just happy that Vancouver
Well, I
beat
love
them
talking
3
about them
times.
right now.
Oh, I do too,
Right
but
now, I'll talk about them all day.
I
Except for
wanted
McDavid's on my fantasy team, I just want to mention.
yeah.
And everyone else that's got that first pick and pick McDavid in the chat, like just love hanging out with them. Just chatting it up with in the chat. They
S
absolutely are pissed. McDavid or Huberto, McDavid or Boone Jenner, McDavid or like a bag of pucks. Like they're just hilarious.
well, he'll figure it out eventually once he's healthy again, and he'll run the league again. You don't want to see McDavid not playing to his full potential because it makes the league fun when he's and better when he's on
Yeah.
his game. But
Imagine
when
him
he's
taking
against the
a run at a
Canucks,
fourth liner at full speed. Like it'd be pretty crazy to see.
yeah, no, we want him. We want him to be healthy for the league. It's better for everybody. Just not when you're playing against the Canucks because we'll take those wins every time. Um, on to this a quick little topic I just wanted to discuss with you. Talking about Bo Horvat's return to Vancouver on Wednesday. I
Yeah.
just see a couple of people on Twitter, and I don't think it's a crazy divide, but some people are like still upset about the way he left, which kind of blows my mind a bit, and just saying like, oh, like Bo Horvat literally said in a presser recently that he's not sure how he's going to be received in Vancouver. It might be like a mix of boos and cheers. I just yeah, I would love to get your take on that just to see like where you stand in the Horvat drama.
This one once again we need Pravy because he was a little fired up boy after Bo Horvat's comments. If you do not recall, Bo Horvat made a comment where the reporter during the post game interview mentioned like how's it playing in like the Islanders, like playing in New York, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the fans are great, nothing like Vancouver."
I could tell you that for
Paraphrasing,
free or
something
something
like
like
that.
that.
I
Yeah.
can tell you that for free. Canucks fans took that very well, very understandably. They had a bit of a spaz because we were terrible at this time too, right? So we had nothing. We had nothing to do.
Mhm.
And now, like, it was one comment. He was here for 8 years. But the thing is, we get rid of him. We get Philip Roenick, and the team looks amazing
Yeah.
without it. That's the thing with Bo Horvat. Like, it's not just the fact he left and he said those things. Is that once he's gone, and like we've been talking about fixing up this core and stuff like that, it looks so good. Do we blame him? He did put the effort in on our team. That's one thing. He was fully putting effort out for 7 years that he was here in the dark ages. But at this point, were the dark ages because of him? Maybe, maybe not. Do we boo? Do we cheer? I don't know. I think I just go with the vibe at that point. I don't. I honestly, I'm completely 50-50 on what happens. I don't think we will boo him. I hope he gets
I
cheers,
would
but it's
fucking
pretty
hope not.
50-50. You never know.
No.
You might get the scattering of boos because they're gonna make a video. You think, right?
Oh, they have to, man. He was a captain of this team. He was here for 8 years during just shit. All Bo Horvat got here was in his first year, his rookie year, 2015 with the Sedins. They went to the playoffs against the Flames. Colossal collapse. They end up losing that. playoff series, and then he got the bubble where Bubble Horvat was another beast. He was amazing to watch.
Oh, that did that?
Holy shit, is that Chris Cuthbert? Um,
No, it was just me.
anyways, no, Horvat bled for this team. Okay, he was great for the community. He was great to the fans here. I the comments that he made, yeah, were they a little offside? Yeah. Should he have read the room because he's been in Vancouver forever? Yes. Okay. This is after a game. He's probably just, I don't know, not a lot of oxygen in the brain or something. And he just said that. And then after, he's probably like, oh shit, what did I say?
He's
Okay.
never shown an ounce of emotion. That's what we've always talked about on our
Yeah.
team. He's
No.
playing on
And
the ice, but, like, in the post-game interview, all we heard every time, "Unacceptable performance from the team." That's
yeah.
it.
No, no. And
And then he gives a little spiciness when he gets to the Islanders.
this guy's playing devil's advocate so hard right now. I,
I'm just,
I
Pappy's
know.
not here.
I know.
I
And
speak his points.
I understand that. Do I think Quinn Hughes is already a better captain in the way he holds himself on this team? Yes. Okay. I believe
You
in
think
that.
Beauvillier is a better player than him?
Absolutely not. Horvat's such a better player than Beauvillier. But no, like Horvat is captain. He was brought up by the Sedins and stuff. He should have shown a little bit more emotion instead of saying unacceptable 3 games in a row where we absolutely like just don't show
We're
up.
getting cratered.
Or we're getting cratered, yeah. And there's a couple of times maybe in games where like he was like right next to a guy and one of our guys got drilled and he should be fighting or at least standing up for his squad. There's a couple of things like that where I'm like, maybe he's just not that guy. Regardless, overall, Paul Horvat being here, he served us well. He gave us some good highlights, some good things to talk about. I appreciated him as a captain. I really like Bo Horvat. I still like Bo Horvat. And I'm not going to be able to go to that game. But if I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan and I'm going to that game, I'm going to be cheering for Bo Horvat coming back, thanking him for what he's done for our team.
All right. He's gonna get cheers, I think. Your passionate plea. I will I
Yeah.
will change my vote to 100% he should get cheered.
Hey, is it
It's
better
just
that we
that
kept
one comment.
Is it better that we kept JT Miller? Of course it is. I'm fucking loving JT Miller, okay?
Oh, yeah, he's,
I
that's the thing, the whole trade with him has worked out.
yeah,
Getting rid of him, betting on JT, getting Roenick back, then switching up captains. Wow, it's been home run after home run after that, so that's
exactly.
the thing. There's nothing saying that trade was even slightly a bad idea. He's doing not bad. We're looking at his stats: 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points in 12 games.
Yeah. No.
Respectable.
Yeah, it's so respectable. Off to a great start. I mean, it's no 23 points like JT Miller has. But it's still good. And yeah, Roenick, by the way, Roenick continued his point streak tonight. I want to say it's 11 games right now. Or no, he's at
It's
it.
done.
This is his 10th tonight. Next game will be 11th if he can get it. Keep it going. They're all
Just an
assists too.
apple a day.
Yeah. That guy's a healthy man. Um, but yeah, no, I know I just mentioned Miller a couple times there. I don't think we could mention his name enough right now. Like he's playing such good hockey. He's an absolute beast on the puck and away from the puck right now. I love how fiery he gets. Even in the Leafs game there, you could see him being frustrated and stuff. And I like that energy. Obviously, when you're winning,
Yep.
it gets shown in a different way than it was when we were losing last year. But I just between him being a fiery, emotional guy to having Hughes as a captain, I think we have such a good um, opposite end of the spectrum situation going on there. And yeah, no, this team's back in the W column, Gunny. We're back in W land.
Dub, 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 dub. Yeah, that was one thing with the Leafs. It wasn't like, man, we're a fake team, like we can't do this or anything like that. It was just, hey, they're allowed a bad game. They did kind of get exposed on that power play. I
Yep,
trust Tocchet and the boys to clean it up. Like simple as that. It's not the end of the world. It's a loss. I wish we won it, but
yep,
back on the horse, get it going. Trust this team.
yeah. And
Process,
tonight,
structure. Summer starts now, baby. Right?
season starts now.
We're
No,
going
yeah,
to pipe.
Talkett got this group back together against this Canadians team, and we had a very solid road performance tonight. There's nothing more to say about it. Canucks are back in the win column, baby. We're still 3rd in the league. So, yeah, it all ends up to be positive at the end of the week here, buddy.
Hell yeah. Should
Yeah.
be an interesting, what is it, after Thanksgiving? That's when, or Thanksgiving weekend. That's when it's like the official whatever. Everyone believes that if you're in the playoffs, you'll make playoffs. And if you're not in playoffs, you won't make playoffs.
Yep, that's right. That's usually around the time where
Well,
everybody
we're
is
gonna hit
where
that
everybody's gonna
benchmark.
be. Yep. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the Oilers are at that point. But yeah, that's going to be doing it for this episode here. Again, thank you guys so much for listening. And we will get this podcast up for you guys on Monday morning. You can follow us on Instagram and X or Twitter, if you still call it that, at What the Nuck Pod.
Everyone
And
still calls it Twitter.
okay, I'm gonna get rid of the X thing there then. And you could follow our YouTube channel and TikTok at What the Nuck. I'm Drydy, your host, and here's my good friend Gunny, co-host, signing off and wishing you a good rest of your weekend.